of course, we want to say good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean once again. We got one more hour before this afternoon. And what a day it is, man. I know most of you are like breathing that sigh of relief. The kids are off to school. All the parents who were worried about, making sure they have everything. This morning was the morning of truth. And of course, it is 11 o'clock in St. Lucia and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. You know what time it is, right? What time it is?
Time for woman versus man.
You see, you have to think about that margin, Dad. You had to think about it.
It's Monday, it's too early.
You had to think. What's too early for what?
For us to go back and forth with
but
that.
That's what man versus woman is all about.
True.
Yeah, we always go back and forth. There's never, even if we agree, we don't agree.
Right.
I might say yes, babes, let's just buy it because I don't want to argue, but that doesn't mean I really want us to buy it.
True.
You know what I mean? So that's just the nature of things. How was your weekend?
My weekend was okay. Okay. Yeah.
Just okay. Let me fix my microphone there. Yeah. Just okay. All right. Well, mine
How was your weekend?
I was here.
Yeah.
I was at work the entire weekend.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Me and Harris and of course Makari was here. The entire weekend we just kind of redid the entire system.
Oh.
Let's just imagine, your brother go and buy a junk piece of car and decide to fix it.
Right.
And take everything out.
And puts everything.
That's what we did on the weekend.
Cool.
Hopefully everything is back in place. You always end up with a bucket of screws and bolts, right?
I hope they don't see me upside down. Can you guys see me?
You're upside down?
I hope I'm not upside down.
No, you're not upside down. We wouldn't do that to you. We would not do that to you. Come on.
You probably would, Asylum. You?
Me?
Yes.
I'd mute you, but I wouldn't put you.
Really?
Anything exciting for you on the weekend? I mean,
not really.
No, you just.
I was at karaoke last night. That's just about it. I didn't really do much.
Hence, I can always tell when you're at karaoke, when you were at karaoke the night before.
Voice.
Your voice sounds a little cracked. You sound like a man.
Last night I couldn't even sing.
You sound like a guy.
Whatever.
Yeah. And of course today is a real big day, in and around the Caribbean and some parts of the world. Kids back to school.
Oh yes. Poor job the children.
Poor job. There's a lot of stay-at-home moms. There's a lot of moms at home right now going, oh gosh.
Finally.
And they just kind of throw themselves on the couch and fall asleep for a couple of hours. That's just a sigh of wow.
After the vacation.
Yeah, all these kids in the house screaming and running around and mom yelling and chasing after them, double up the laundry.
Right.
Everything. But the last 2 weeks was a lot of hard work for a lot of moms.
Yeah,
dads too, making sure you have all, because no matter what it is, we always want our kids to have everything.
Right, true.
The beginning of school, the first day of school. Mm-hmm. Some things the kids are not even going to touch for another week.
Right.
But we just want to make sure that they have everything. And a lot goes into it. You a lot of sweat, a lot of headaches, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of fussing, a lot of worrying.
Some advice for some kids. I know that not all kids got new stuff.
Right.
I heard this particular mom saying that her daughter was pretty upset because
she didn't get the new stuff.
She wasn't going to buy her a new bag or shoe only because I think 2 months, a month before school closed,
she got a new bag.
I think she said a month before. Yeah, she got a new bag and a new shoe. So I'm like, I totally understand that. I mean, back then, if I was young and I know I just got my thing.
But kids don't understand these things.
They don't want to hear that.
They just figure, well, everybody in school is going to be brand spanking new today.
And I go into school.
Why can I not be new?
I don't know, buy a $20 shoe for the first day and then after that you could wear.
So you have a new shoe. Oh boy. It is. Today's a magical day as far as I'm concerned. Let me explain to you. There's a lot of, like I said to Leah earlier, there's a lot of new friendships that are going to be made today that will last a lifetime.
All right.
Especially for the kids going out to high school.
Right.
The ones coming into school. Because there's a lot of people who have kindergarten friends,
Yeah.
Like people that they met in kindergarten and they stayed friends throughout their entire lives.
Right.
So some of these relationships are going to be formed today. You have mothers who have never really been apart from their kid for first time going to daycare and that kind of thing.
It's going to be so hard for them.
That's why I said today's a magical day.
Yeah,
today is really a magical day. If you sit and you think about it, some of us some of our best friends or our closest people that are closest to us have been there from Form 1 and the first day of primary school.
Right.
And, I mean, I'm not sure if we can go as far back as kindergarten. Some people will remember their kindergarten friends because they grew together. But
True.
you have anyone that you
I still
met in high school, first form, and you're still close?
I still have friends from primary school. Still have friends from secondary school. She's not down here, but we were super close.
Right.
Yeah, Elvira. She was my best friend at school. Yeah. So but we're not that close.
But you still keep
but we're
the
still
connection.
close. Yeah.
And I was saying again earlier, there's some people who you might have met in school who are right now, even to this day, you wonder whatever happened to that person.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
True.
I think we can all do a where are they now in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last time my class had a reunion, but I didn't go.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't feel like going.
Yeah, that's not nice.
I didn't feel like going because when they added me to the group, everybody was sending pictures and I sent pictures. So everybody was like, "That's not Shanice. That can never be Shanice." But I just.
No, that's flawless.
I just did. I just wasn't feeling it. Everybody was saying I look too different. That cannot be me and all of that. I just didn't feel it. Yeah, they went to the beach. It looked fun in the pictures, but I stayed home.
Because you stayed home.
I just stayed home.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of children are still crying.
Yeah.
Mom and daddy left them behind. They're still crying. Big up to the teachers though. Big up to the teachers who are gonna settle these kids down and move them up one notch over the next year.
Right.
There's some kids who might have changed school altogether, and all their friends that they have known is not that they know more, but they're not gonna see them anymore. As often. And I think it's important that we remember. People that made a difference in our lives and the people around us all the time. Every day we're there with them. So school is really important. I still believe that school days are the best days.
Right. Right. It looking back now, I think I was a little too hard on myself going to school.
Yeah.
But it could have been better for me.
What do you mean you were a little too hard on yourself?
I was more focused on what people thought about me. And actually, going to school and just having fun and all of that. Although I did have fun.
You always wanted to be the pretty girl.
I was always a pretty girl.
Blow your own horn.
But yeah, because I was big, so I was a really big girl. So I used to worry about what people would say about me, and all of that. I remember too. When I got to Form 4, that's when I really started feeling myself. So. I was as bright as I was. Well, I am. Well, I was. I would go to the salon almost every morning. Let me tell you, I used to go to the salon every morning just to flat iron my hair and stuff.
Yeah, money like that.
And I remember it wasn't money. It was just like $10.
Oh, wow. And so you sacrificed your lunch.
To look good. Why not? And I remember. The principal used to get on with me because my shirt would always be out of my skirt because I used to have a gilet with my. I bought a boy shirt with the pockets and I had the matching chain with my uniform and.
So you broke all the rules.
I mean, I just wanted to look, to look good, and everybody was into the short skirts. And
I was in high school, right?
Yeah.
I had a fun high school. My high school years were fun. I went to a private high school.
Oh.
Right. And I wasn't my principal's favorite student.
I wonder why.
For a few different reasons. I wasn't a bad kid. I actually got along really well with all my teachers, except for my principal.
Okay.
Because I knew all his business. And I made it a point to know his business. So, he didn't like me for that. But I got along with all my teachers, male and female. I was always the favorite in class.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a fun high school year. My years in high school was really, it was really, really well.
My last 2 years in high school, they were the best.
And then when I moved on to University of Toronto, it was radio.
Oh.
And then I went to Ryerson University, again radio, York University radio. So I ended up doing, and it's a blessing to be able to end up doing what you love.
Right.
Because before all of that, I was into music. I was a DJ.
Okay.
I started playing music, I would say professionally, at about 13.
Mm-hmm.
The guys used to come and steal me out of my house, help me through the window when we would come back at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I think every child, everybody has done that once in their life, snuck out of the window to go to something they were not allowed to go to, or just do something.
But the funny thing is, years later, my mother told me she knew everything.
You serious? Yeah. And that's the thing. Most times mothers know, they just don't say anything. Yeah.
My mom was the kind of mother that if she saw that maybe you were half into it, she'd probably give you a hard time. But if she knew you were really into it, she'd just let it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish our mothers were that way.
So she you think I didn't know you used to, the boy down the road them used to.
So when did she say that to you? Like years after?
Years after.
So all that time your mother watching you, probably laughing at you when you're thinking.
I never tell you something. Going back, leaving the house wasn't the hard part. Open the window, jumping out the window.
That was
the boys there to catch you. Sometimes they put buckets. There's old like a metal bucket. I used to have those metal buckets back in the days. Right? Stack them up and hold them. The worst part was when I come back. When we came back, getting into the house, trying to sneak back into the house.
You had to be quiet.
Yeah. But she knew.
She knew. Funny. That's so funny.
Love you, Mom. So it's Monday. I mean, it's really been a busy morning.
Yes,
everywhere. Traffic's crazy. All parents are trying to get their kids out of school. There are some parents though who opt not to send their kids to school today, and for most of this week, as a matter of fact, there are parents who still do that.
Yeah,
I remember there. Back in the day, they used to have a lot of kids stay at home for the first week because they figure, well, there's not much going on, and I think my mom did it a few times, but her excuse was, I don't want you to get your clothes, because those days the students were heavily involved in packing like arranging the classroom and all that, because over the holidays they'll kind of stack them in a corner.
Right.
So the kids used to have to put them down and choose your seat and all. So my mom said, you know what, I'm not sending my child to school for that.
Right.
So I was at home a couple of times, but there's a lot of parents who didn't send their children out to school today. And there's still some who are still struggling to get, all the supplies that the kids need, especially a lot of the single mothers. It's the ones that have to do it all by themselves, and fathers are not involved. And I gotta say kudos to these women. Don't feel any way. You're doing the best that you can, and I think that you ought to know that. Sometimes life doesn't always hand you the apples, hands you limes sometimes. So you just have to know how to make juice with it.
Right. I went to Asylum. What's happening in the Bahamas?
Yes. We're still waiting for some information. Apparently, well, not apparently, all reports say that Dorian hit the Bahamas at a category 5.
That is.
So we're expecting to see a lot of damages when. And
I was told that it's taking its mighty old time cruising.
And just imagine, that storm passed us last week as a tropical storm, and I saw a lot of people make memes and made jokes and all of that.
And even people went to as far as saying Dorian should have stayed here and caused damage.
Yeah, there are people who said that. I saw a video for one lady. She was complaining that the police told her to stay at her home, and she wanted to go to work. And it was, like a lot of times we take for granted how dangerous these things can be. Yeah. And I want to ring a bell. Let people know that do not take it lightly. Not because Dorian passed us and went on to cause so much damage that we're not we're not going to be hit. I'm not saying that I'm wishing for a hurricane to pass here, but we have to always remember not to let our guards down. I think a lot of people now are going to say, well, the next storm comes along, that's just a storm, I ain't going to worry about it.
No, I feel like St. Lucians have started, like they're now calling like they want something to happen. That's what I feel like. I mean, I've heard, I think more than 2 people say that. Even posted it on Facebook, and there were people sending it around saying that, oh, Dorian didn't stay St. Lucian people are too wicked, and we need that kind of thing to happen to us so we can start appreciating life and whatnot. But I'm like, yo, if that has to happen down there, who knows what can happen?
What can happen? It could be you, could be me.
Right.
So far we've heard of one death of a young boy.
I heard about one last night in Mikud.
No, I'm talking about in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
So we're just praying for them and the people of the Bahamas. Our hearts go out to you. Of course, Dorian is on his way to the U.S.
Right.
And it might not hit landfall, but they're bracing for it. There's some states have been issuing evacuation notice.
Right.
Right. Our bosses up in Georgia, they're gonna be hit somewhat. Right, so we gotta send some love out to them, and for all our friends and family over in the
Florida.
Bahamas and Florida and everything else, we'll continue to pray for you guys.
I have family in Florida. I'm really worried.
And I'm concerned though that a storm of such a magnitude so early in the season, what's behind Dorian?
I really don't know.
We kind of have to wait and see,
Yeah.
Wait and see. Keep our fingers crossed and keep sending out those prayers. All right.
And guys, don't call those things on us, on ourselves. Like, why should we even be doing that? I mean, we're lucky this time around, but don't forget, like, those things, they actually come back. It can turn and come right back to St. Lucia. So just be very careful with what you say.
Let me just read a little bit here. This one says, as of 8 a.m. Monday, the National Hurricane Center said Dorian was a Category 5 storm battering the Bahamas. Forecasters say Dorian may spare the U.S. a direct hit but will move close to Florida East Coast late Monday. Mandatory evacuations are on the way in some parts of Florida and order for later Monday for the coastlines of South Carolina and Georgia. Devastated Hurricane Dorian was battering parts of the Bahamas overnight with punishing 160 miles an hour maximum sustained winds, down from 185 miles per hour earlier. So just imagine if it had hit at 185 miles per hour and inching along on its path of destruction, the National Hurricane Center said. Storm surges in some places were raising water levels more than 20 feet above normal. Can you imagine
crazy. That is crazy.
20 feet above normal.
Right.
Just imagine if that was VG Beach. We would definitely be seeing some water coming across the airport onto the highway.
Yeah. Almost 3 times my height.
Yes. Dorian was ripping off roofs, overturning cars, and tearing down power lines as people hunkered down in schools, churches, and shelters. Right. Though the Hurricane Center was still forecasting that Dorian would stay off the U.S. coast as it makes its way up the seaboard, evacuations were ordered for parts of Florida and later on Monday the Georgia and South Carolina coast. Acting Chief Kevin McAlene said Sunday that even if the storm remains just off the U.S. mainland, it could still cause major problems with high winds and devastating storm surge and heavy rain. As of 10 a.m. Monday, Dorian Center was some 30 miles east-northeast of Freeport, Grand Bahama Island, and 115 miles east of West Palm Beach, Florida. The Hurricane Center said the storm is barely budging, moving west at about 1 mile per hour. So it's just there. It's not moving. It's just hammering.
Taking its time.
Take its time. 1 mile per hour. The storm's not moving at all.
Yo.
And those are the worst because it's just a constant battering. Constant battering. That's the same storm that we just barely saw a few showers from last week.
And honestly, I was expecting something. I don't know why. But I guess that's why it probably didn't do anything to us. But look at what it's doing.
What it's doing up there. According to the Associated Press, Dorian tied the record for the most powerful Atlantic hurricane ever to come ashore in the Bahamas.
Wow.
Equaling the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, even before storms were named. Imagine that. And it's almost to the day, because Labor Day was Monday. Today is Monday, Labor Day.
Right.
So same day, 1935 was the strongest storm that hit the Bahamas. It says the National Hurricane Center said at 5 a.m. Monday that on its current track, the core of extremely dangerous Hurricane Dorian will continue to pound Grand Bahama Island through much of the day and tonight. The hurricane will move dangerously close to Florida East Coast tonight through Wednesday evening. Although gradually weakening in forecast, Dorian is expected to remain a powerful hurricane during the next couple of days. Maximum sustained winds near 165 miles an hour with higher gusts. So we're still waiting for some information coming out of the Bahamas on the damages that was caused by Dorian. So let's pray for the people in
But did you see the videos? So?
I saw a few of them.
Yeah,
I saw a few of them.
Lady crying
Yes,
hysterically,
asking for help.
And just knowing that she's a baby and seeing the apartments, they don't have any roof on them or anything like that. There are people just scattered up on the step trying to stay away from harm's way, and I don't know how I would feel in that situation. I mean, I've never been in a situation like that, but just thinking of it, that could have been us last week. You feel me? And Lucians just take everything for granted. Let me tell you, people are up there crying, scared. Like you said, the hurricane isn't moving. It's only 1 mile per hour. That's like that. It's taking its good old time.
Hammering. This one says Grand Bahama Island was probably getting hit with catastrophic storm surge flooding from the Hurricane Dorian. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said at 1 a.m. This is a life-threatening situation. The center said the residents on Grand Bahama Island should not leave their shelter when the eye passes over, as winds will rapidly increase on the other side of the eye. Residents of Abaco should continue to stay in their shelter until conditions subside later today. Wind gusts over 200 miles per hour were recorded along the storm's surge 18 to 23 feet above normal tide levels with higher destructive waves. These hazards will cause extreme destruction in the affected areas and will continue for several hours, the Hurricane Center said. All right. It talks about an eye-popping rainfall amount forecast. The National Hurricane Center says Dorian is expected to pour 12 to 24 inches of rain on the northwestern Bahamas through late this week, with some spots getting as much as 30 inches. That's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain, a lot of water. Where's the water going to go?
In addition, coastline Carolinas 5 to 10 inches, with isolated areas getting 15 inches. Atlantic coast from Florida Peninsula through Georgia 3 to 6 inches, with isolated totals of 9 inches. Southern Virginia 2 to 4 inches, isolated 6 inches. Central Bahama 2 to 4 inches, isolated 6 inches of rain.
Wow,
that's unbelievable. I mean, we haven't seen those numbers anywhere this side for a very long time. So folks, we still have to be prepared.
Right.
The hurricane season just begun. Right. We have another 2 months of this. And we just have to always remember that we have to take heed. We gotta listen to the authorities when they give us the warnings. When the warnings are issued, we need to follow them.
Right.
Just remember though, we also need to pay attention to the Met Office and NEMO, who whenever we are in harm's way are the ones who would issue the reports.
Right.
So pay attention to that. Do not spread rumors. Do not send photos that you're not sure where they're from. Do not send WhatsApp messages if you're not sure what the source is.
Right.
Because there's some malicious people out there, people with too much time on their hands, who would, send these things out, and sometimes they affect us in a very, very negative way.
Right.
All right. So just have to remember that. But anyways, it's Monday.
It is
Man versus
Monday,
woman.
woman versus
I think
man.
everybody's tired by now.
Yeah.
This Monday, because of school, is just a day that should be only 2 hours, and everybody should be allowed to go back home.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't even have kids, and I'm tired.
All right, so we got a situation this morning.
Yes, we do have a situation actually.
Uh-huh.
So it reads, "Good day, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem, and I would like your opinion. I am married and on my 3rd pregnancy. However, I'm falling in love with a man that is not my husband. Here is the problem. As you know, pregnant women go through many emotions, and this guy seems to understand me whenever I go through my mood swings. I have to say I have a good husband. However, we are away at work all the time. Hence, I spend more time with this other guy at work. He is my co-worker. So whatever mood I'm in, this guy seems to be there at all times and seems to understand. Because of that, I keep thinking of this guy, even when I'm with my husband. To tell you the truth, guys, I even fantasize about us making love and things like that. I haven't spoken to my coworker nor my husband about this, but I am really confused. I really don't know what to do, and it is getting worse every day. I need your opinion." Is WhatsApp backup? Is that WhatsApp platform backup?
No, not yet.
So guys, you can call via our studio line 458-2488, or you can call on Asylum's phone 721-5545.
My phone's not going to connect to the system.
721-5545. That's Asylum's number.
Right.
Okay.
Boy. Blame it on the pregnancy. I mean, no amount of emotions that you're going through right now could make you want to cheat on your husband.
I feel like that would make you want your husband around even more. So to me, that is I don't know.
That right off the bat, I'm reading this and I'm thinking, you know what? Are we using this pregnancy as an excuse?
Yes.
And shame on the coworker. Shame on you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with. Some men find pregnant women attractive.
Right.
There are men who find pregnant women
but she's
attractive.
The one finding him attractive. She never made mention that they had anything going on. She's been fantasizing about this. And what he is doing is probably he understands what she's going through.
And being supportive as a co-worker,
he
friend.
Probably is totally innocent and all of that, and she's probably in her mind.
I mean, while I know it happens and it has happened. I mean, I know people who actually met while the lady in the relationship was pregnant,
right.
And but it happens. How many men do I know that wants to go around starting a relationship with a pregnant woman? Not unless you know her story, and then again, a lot of times it's only about pity. You feel sorry for her situation,
right?
And for her to talk about using that as an excuse. Yes, women do go through a lot of changes when they're pregnant.
Yeah, emotional,
physical, you name it. But I've never heard that type of thing chase you or puts you in the arms of another man.
Unless your husband isn't good, then I would totally understand that. But you're saying that your husband is a good man.
She's confused. She's contradicting herself.
So I don't get it. I don't get it. Your husband doesn't understand. That's probably he just doesn't get it. I just
feel she had an eye on this. She had an eye on this co-worker for the longest while, and now that she's pregnant, and he probably a bit more sympathetic to her.
She's feeling everything a bit more.
And she's just using that as an excuse to,
right?
As Dr. Secret said, do her nastiness.
Let me tell you.
When you're with your husband, you're thinking of another man. Even if you're not pregnant, you ain't supposed to be doing that.
Exactly. So I don't. To me, there's no excuse. There's no reason for that. I feel like if you're pregnant, the feelings for your husband it's going to grow more because you get more emotional. So if you love him or whatever, it's supposed to bring you guys closer together. That send you into somebody else. Exactly.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm no professional on that. I'm telling you right now, I'm no professional, but And somebody please call me if you think that this can happen. 458-2488.
Somebody said this lady needs to give birth and breastfeed her child. I will want a good husband. Tell her to send him my way, and I giving her the one I have. I wasn't expecting to read that.
Is that?
I telling for you. She needs a kick. I can read the rest of it.
This. Oh, come on! I've heard stories, but this one takes the cake. Honestly, this one takes the cake. This one definitely takes the cake.
I mean, like
you're pregnant, and you think because of the emotional changes that you're going through is driving you closer to another man.
That makes no sense.
No sense. I think you should be getting closer to, unless there's a donor you have. But she clearly says that her husband's a great husband. You know, he's good.
Right.
What's your problem?
I don't know. Like you said, she probably had an eye on that guy already. She already had that planned up in her mind.
I think so.
Now that she really wants to have something with him, she's using a pregnancy as an excuse.
And maybe he's the type of guy who just genuinely he's in touch with his feminine side, and he's he's excited for her. He's happy for her as a co-worker, and maybe they sit and talk a lot and that kind of thing. He's there. He's being supportive,
right.
And she's taking that for something else.
Right. I don't know. Somebody said send him she egg good for him. The lady, I know what she wants. Yeah. I can't say word for word what the person wrote.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would have a lot to say.
But I feel like stop making excuses. I feel like she was probably that type of person already, and I mean you can't turn her into a housewife. You've heard that saying, right? I'm not going to say what. But you can turn anyway. So I feel like now that she's comfortable in the relationship, she probably doesn't feel for her husband as much as she used to, and she's searching for the next new thing. But what I'm saying is, you're pregnant, you have a belly in front of you. Do you think this guy is actually going to like you? Actually going to want to be with you? Because you're saying that you haven't told your husband or your co-worker yet. Now note, he knows nothing about the liking she has towards him.
Right.
The liking she has towards him. So this is crazy.
Yes.
So this is crazy. So I just feel like she should just stop whatever it is she's doing and pay more attention to her husband. It makes no sense. I mean, you're pregnant. Your emotions should be, your feelings should be towards your husband right now and not any other person. And you need to keep it cute, keep it clean, and focus solely right now on you and your relationship. And I'm telling you, if you go to this guy and you tell him that you like him, all he's going to see is a big belly. He's not going to see the pretty face if you have a pretty face. He's not going to see the intellectual side of you. All he's going to see is a belly. Okay, you can't scare off somebody like that. Who knows? He's probably just excited that you're pregnant. He wants to be a supportive friend and all of that, and he can't do that right now. So we have a call coming in. Let me take that call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Can you read this for me again? I was listening, but I got distracted through a telephone call. Can you read that for me again? I will call back.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so somebody asked me to read the situation again. So the situation reads, I was asked to read the situation again, Asylum.
Yeah.
It says, good day, guys. I have a problem and I would like your opinion.
Right.
I am married and on my third pregnancy. However, I am falling in love with a man that is not my husband. 1 second here. Here is the problem. As you know, pregnant women go through many emotions, and this guy seems to understand me whenever I go through my mood swings. I have to say, I have a good husband. However, we are away at work all the time. Hence, I spend more time with this other guy at work. He is my co-worker. So whatever mood I'm in, this guy seems to be there at all the time, and he seems to understand. But because of that, I keep thinking of this guy even when I'm with my husband. To tell you the truth, guys, I even fantasize about us making love and things like that. I haven't spoken to my coworker nor my husband about this, but I am really confused. I really don't know what to do, and it is getting worse every day. I need your opinion.
Oh boy.
As of the second time around.
Honestly, I mean, it's not like she's new to being pregnant, right? She's had
this is a
third pregnancy.
Right.
So she would expect that certain, she would know what to expect, right?
So why didn't she feel that way for
the first and the second? I believe she's making an excuse. Hits FM, good morning, Eli.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's me again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listening to that scenario there, you know what happened? The woman already know her business, but she just wants us to, endorse it for her.
She wants us to. Well, she's not gonna get an endorsement from you on that.
You're pregnant. It's supposed to be for your husband. Supposed to.
Right.
At work, you in love with your coworker. We don't know what you do with your coworker already. We don't know. We don't know what you do. You know. So the pregnancy there, have your kind of way confused because you're not sure if it's for your husband or for your coworker because you're already talking about you in love with a man. We don't know what you try already.
Although
let me tell you something. You know all what you're about.
Right.
Just take your party and go and stay with your coworker because it's you. Look how we.
She know what she did already.
Listen, but she did say.
So that before the belly gets out and for people to start talking, the next thing the child ain't looking like the husband, the child looking like the coworker. Your bag pack already.
You ain't nothing easier.
Your husband will get a little goop well for some time.
You ain't nothing easier, Dr. Secret.
But listen, she did.
I said you ain't nothing easier.
She did say that.
But Asylum.
Yeah.
And Flawless. When you balance that thing out, it is not something that you say, okay, you are going to make a try or whatever. Right. You in love with your coworker.
Yeah.
You spending more time with your coworker than your husband because you have 8 hours with your coworker.
Right.
When your husband get to the house or you get to the house and your husband there, to you, your work can start right away because you have no feeling for your husband. You don't want to see it. When last you make love to your husband?
Exactly.
When you lose your husband, you'll come in and quarrel and tell women, you leave my man for me.
But Dr. Secret, she said.
No man belongs to any woman because when God said that man, there was no woman around. Okay?
Yeah, but
so I am telling the lady, you already make up your mind. Your mind is not at peace when you're at home. You're not feeling comfortable because it's the co-worker you see in everything you do.
Right.
Take your paycheck and go and stay with your co-worker. Make yourself feel happy.
Maybe that's just what it is. I mean, she's already mentally checked out of the relationship, and she's just using this as an excuse. She's using the pregnancy as an excuse. I mean, if you're going to, if you're not in love with your husband again, did she mention that?
She didn't say that. She did mention that he's a good guy.
Listen, you know, you're talking about when you're with your husband. When you say with your husband, what do you mean?
When you're with him. When she's with him.
So she's. I'm thinking of the
when she's that's exactly what that means.
I hope your husband's not my brother because you don't know you have to leave.
But what she said, and I just keep thinking of is that the coworker has no idea. So I get what Dr. Secret was saying, but the coworker has
she has a little plot in her mind.
The coworker has no idea that she even likes him. You get me? So
the guy is being genuine by you know. As a co-worker, they probably have lunch together, sit together, maybe in the same.
I'm telling you, it might be meaningless. It might be innocent.
And you're sitting there
and
going,
she has this whole relationship probably
going on in her head.
That is crazy.
You need to check herself.
That is crazy.
I want to take the time just to say good morning to Angel Berry really quick. She said good morning to us via Facebook.
And our folks over at GVD TV.
Yes. Happy Labor Day. Yeah, you know what you're about. You know what you want to do, so just go ahead and do it and leave your husband alone. It's sad that you have to use your pregnancy because I don't believe that. I'm assuming that most women who's been pregnant or who have a child are probably going, wait a minute, what kind of thing is that?
Exactly. Let me tell you, when you're pregnant, it brings out the more emotional side of you.
Right, of course.
So whatever you're feeling, whatever you were feeling before your pregnancy is what you're going to feel more of now. So obviously
she's been lusting.
Over this guy, and now that it's and she's blaming it on no, you can't blame it on the pregnancy because we know better.
Yeah,
you get me? What you're feeling is something you're always feeling. You're probably hiding it, but now using your pregnancy as to say that's why you're feeling that way. That is not acceptable, honey.
I feel sorry for your husband because the poor guys who poor job. You know, 3 kids in, and you know, I'm hoping that you haven't done anything with the co-worker.
Right.
I'm hoping that you're not bringing what do you call it? A boat. Let's
not say that.
To my cousin, to my little cousin there. No, we're not accepting that. But I mean, really and truly, yes, women do go through a lot of emotions when they're pregnant, and you know, at times they, you know, the things they want to hear and feel might not come from the people that they're with.
Right.
You know, somebody to comfort you, maybe a little pat on the shoulder, just to, you know, conversate with, just to have conversations and talk about different stages. Maybe you're not getting that at home, and that could be a possibility too.
Yeah, but that's where communication comes in. I just feel like, you know, and I know you feel that way too.
There's still a lot of men, man versus woman. There's still a lot of men out there who do not know how to tap into a woman's emotional side.
True. I agree with that 250%.
A woman might come and say, no, all you do is complaining, nagging. But you have to know when to really stop, pull yourself up and evaluate what a woman's saying.
Exactly. But as women, don't you think it should be our responsibility to educate men on how to...
And that's why we have this show.
Yeah, right? So I feel like
woman,
as much as the men don't know, we should be teaching them.
You're not always in a position to teach.
We're not always?
No, because like I said, with the emotional roller coaster that women go through, especially when pregnant, when that lesson needs to be taught, they might not be in that frame of mind.
Yeah, but they need to know how to...
What I think, though, again, communication, yes, is very key. Talk to your husband. Try to get closer to your husband, my dear. As opposed to trying to fit another man in your head.
Exactly.
Make that space available for your husband.
Right.
I think that's where you're going wrong.
Definitely.
Developing feelings for somebody who might not necessarily feel the same way about you can lead you down a real bad path.
Because what I'm saying is, if this girl tells this guy that, hey, I'm feeling you, but all he's going to see after that is the belly. He's not going to see your pretty face. He's not going to see...
wait a minute, you're pregnant. How you mean?
You know? Although, I mean,
there's some guys...
That's what I was about to say. I know
of
this situation where this guy met this girl 5 months pregnant and he stayed with her. And it
happens. And I said that earlier. It does happen. There are people who I know that raise children that's not theirs. And you wouldn't know because the mother was in the early stages of pregnancy when they met.
Right.
And they stuck around.
Right.
And took that responsibility. But on the other hand, there's some men too that find pregnant women attractive.
Yeah, there are.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that. I think a pregnant woman, it's a natural thing, and it can come across as really sexy.
Yeah,
I think we should embrace the pregnant.
Right, I've heard people say, like, just the fact that a woman is able to make children, that's like, wow, like that's a turn on. Like men go out of their way for women like that, and all of some men, those that are turned on by that.
Some men.
Yeah,
some men would run because of the responsibility part of it. So if I get it, I have to take responsibility for
that. I can't go out again.
Yeah, but
I can't go out again.
I personally believe that she needs to check herself. I think if you have a husband who in your own words, is a great husband, right? You should not be looking to bring this type of thing into your lives right now. And the fact that you're married, right? That in itself really should bring you closer to your husband. This is your 3rd child,
right?
I hope you're not one of those mothers who lose. You know, when you have the first baby, most women when they have the first baby, they're overprotective, and then as they go along, they just start to lose, that sense of protection for the kids. It's like things that they would do for the 4th, 2nd, and 3rd child. They would have done that when they had the first baby. That type of thing. But I believe your husband, you need to sit and talk to your husband. I don't know if you need to tell him what you're doing, what you're thinking,
Yo.
but you need to find a way to get closer to your husband. Maybe plan a little time out, a little movie. You know, the circus in town. Bring him to the circus and get a nice cup, bring a little pillow and, you know, sit and lay on him a little bit, and you guys get close. Try to do things to take your mind off. Because I'm not saying that it doesn't happen entirely. I think that love is funny. It can catch us in some of the most awkward places. Right? People fall in love with people for different reasons. Like you said, it's a co-worker. You guys probably work on the same project or work in the same department, so you see each other a lot. So that could amount to something too.
And that's the thing, when you see the person in your eyes, you know, every day,
all the time, you know, the time spent. Maybe sometimes those tight pants you wear, you see them when you turn on. You're trying to get the husband to wear one of those tight pants for a long time, and he's like, oh, I'm not having it.
You know
no, I'm not wearing that. Try to fall in love with your husband all over again, because it is your husband, it is your child's father. You're gonna be having a baby soon.
I feel like she just doesn't want the husband anymore.
You think she's done?
She didn't say I love my husband. She didn't say I'm still in love with my husband. She just said my husband is a good guy. She did. That's all she said. But she's going on and on about how our co-worker is there for her, and he knows what's going on with him in her mind, and he knows all about her mood.
She's justifying her actions. She's justifying the fact that she's falling in love with this guy.
She is not falling. She is.
As in love with him.
She is in love with him.
She's justifying the fact that she's in love with him. She feels that by telling us all these sweet things that I would go, no, not today. I believe that you need to check yourself.
All right, there's no excuse unless you're just completely not in love with your husband anymore. There's no excuse.
Just imagine how let's take this a little further. Let's say you do get involved with this guy, a little lunchroom encounter,
right?
And your husband finds out. Now you have issues, my girl, because he's gonna start thinking, okay, whether or not this child is mine. Maybe you were having this affair a long time ago,
right?
You know, all these things are gonna play in his head. Exactly. So I think that you need to be careful. You need to really focus on your pregnancy and your marriage,
right?
Not bring this other guy. That's the devil tempting you there. That's Satan coming in the form of that sexy, co-worker. The guy with all the muscles, tight shirt, big chest, always smelling nice. Yeah, the devil's trying to trick you. Right, fellas?
Right. I feel like, again, the fella could not even be Satan. It could just be, I don't know.
No, it is Satan. It is the devil.
No.
It is the devil.
I feel like she's
the devil.
Like
He's trying to set her up.
I feel like she's the devil.
You feel like she's the devil.
Just because, like, yo, like, I don't get it. You're pregnant, first of all. How dare you? You're pregnant.
The harsh reality of it is that, the husband is...
Poor job again.
Doesn't even know this is going on behind his back. He probably feels that he has the best marriage in the world, the greatest wife in the world.
And she's
up to no good.
Unhappy.
You're up to no good. You're trying to, who knows, maybe you try to seduce the co-worker.
Who knows with your belly.
And then I'm hoping that you're listening. I'm hoping that the co-worker is listening. That's maybe a good way to get him to know that you're thinking about him.
Right.
Put the radio on.
To the co-worker, run.
Put one and one together.
Right.
Run.
Fast.
Run.
Or just tell her no. Just say no, straight up no. I'm just your friend and I'm looking for anything else. And to the wife, shame on you. You have a husband, yo. You have a husband. You have 2 kids with him already.
It goes to show today, this day and age, how much people disrespect their marriage and
people don't take that seriously anymore.
They don't take it seriously anymore. Now it's more of security for some people.
Right.
Look, he's a good provider.
Financial security.
Yeah, it's about security. He provides for his family, and that's it. They don't love anymore.
Or people get married just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Or everybody else is doing it.
Right.
All my friends are getting married.
Nobody gets married for the right reasons. Again, it's very rare now that you find somebody who falls in love with somebody and marries them for all the good reasons.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, I was at a wedding, and I was there as a DJ, and after the wedding was done, the staff of the establishment were there, and they were talking about some really funny and different weddings that they've seen, and you'd be surprised at how many of them, from what I was hearing, that just ended right away, instantly. They talked about maybe 3 weddings that just within a month.
Right.
It's
crazy.
Wedding, the marriage was annulled and all kinds of stuff. So people are not really looking at weddings the way they used to. And now it's about status too. It's about money.
Right.
It's not about love.
Name and all of that. And I feel if I have to get married, Asylum, I have to be in love. I'm not going to. I'm telling to anybody who plans on proposing to me.
Yeah.
If I don't feel like I'm in love with you, I'll not say yes. I'll not say yes. I would wait until I feel like, hey, this is who I really want to marry and really want to be with. Because best believe, I actually believe in for better or for worse. So when the worst comes, I'm not going anywhere. And as long as you're willing to fight with me for our marriage, I'm not going nowhere. If you don't want our marriage again, then fine. I don't have a choice. Plus, I have breath in me, and you're willing to fight for it, for better or for worse.
Also, too, Flawless. A lot of marriage come on the strain when, people feel like, the other party is not really there for them. Or they might be there for themselves. They can tell that you're just there to acquire your own things, and just a matter of time, and then people start getting disconnected and all of that.
Right.
To add. Being pregnant, a lot of chemical imbalances.
Right.
So it does happen. I think it does happen where, especially when, the female's pregnant, she can actually see another person or someone outside the marriage as that knight in shining armor. As to whether or not she does act on it, it's really up to her and the strength that she has to hold herself together.
Right.
You should talk to your husband. Tell your husband that right now you're not seeing him the way you used to see him. Right. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's something he's doing now that's different.
Maybe it's you.
Maybe he needs to be a little closer to you. And likewise, you need to get a little closer to him. Don't bring somebody else in the mix.
Exactly. Who knows? She might be the one that's just disconnected. Cause he's probably doing everything he was doing before, but she probably just doesn't want him anymore. And that's the thing. Women, I don't know what about them, why they do that, but some of them just tend to get really disconnected. I don't find like men get disconnected as much as women do. Yeah, I feel like women get disconnected very easily, especially it could be the smallest, slightest thing, they're not getting something, they're not getting their way or something like that, and that alone, probably 2 months of that, and it's like they're totally disconnected. They're not even in a relationship with you in their minds anymore. It's just what it is. I don't know why women operate that way, but it's how they operate.
But what do men do though? I mean, a lot of these men just they don't even see it coming.
Yeah, they
it catches them on
because they don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
They know how they feel about and that's the thing. They wouldn't let petty things get to the relationship, if you get me. But women, the pettiest thing, they're turning it into that big thing. And sorry for throwing you all under the bus.
Yeah, it is what it is, man versus woman.
But it happens, and I feel like that you all should, like, women, we should grow up. We should start thinking more like men. Okay? Women are very emotional creatures. We move on emotions. 2 months of him probably just paying all it, because probably the cricket season is there, and paying more attention to the TV.
Busy at work.
Or busy at work, and it's like
big season.
You lose what?
Or you got a project at work you're trying to finish up.
Right, and because of that, 2 months of that, and it's like you don't have any feelings for him anymore. You guys have been together for 15 years, and 2 years of him 2 months of him just wanting to
down the drain.
That's crazy.
Is it really possible for that to happen though? I mean, like a lot of times when you find disconnection in a relationship, the woman usually says, "Oh, he's busy doing this and he's finding time for everything else but me." But what about you though? I mean, when a woman comes to the conclusion that a man is busy doing everything else and not spending time with her, sorry.
Right.
Why don't you, on the other hand, reach out a little more?
Right.
You know, do women take the bull by the horn and say, okay, well, this is my relationship, this is our relationship, so let me try to shake you around and let you know that something is wrong and so we can fix it? Or they just lay back and say, you know what, to heck with it.
I feel like women do that. Like they talk. I feel like they talk to that, they express their feelings and all of that. But like I said, men probably don't see it as serious as women see it, because again, we're emotional creatures, so we take the smallest thing.
But isn't that a good thing though? Because at least you women are there to really see the things that men, because we know we're not that on the emotional side and we're not that all sensitive about certain situation. But shouldn't it be? I mean, at the end of the day, right? When you talk about a relationship, it's on a scale. Right. Sometimes you pushing more, sometimes you pushing more. You know, and I think a lot of times we all tend to look at what we are putting into the relationship.
Right.
At that particular time. Oh, I'm going out of my way to make sure that this works. You know, but you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
At times, I think you need to step up and maybe carry a little bit more because I might be weak.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
There's other things going on in my life that might stop me from being at home as much as I would want to.
Right.
I work. I whatever it is. But when that situation does come up, shouldn't the other party just kind of reach out more?
Yes.
Instead of staying in the comfort zone and just throwing stones.
Right. I think yeah. I think they should definitely reach out more and stuff, and just probably take a little load off the other person for a bit, because I mean, not everybody is as strong. Sometimes we need help. Everybody needs help.
And even at times too, the things that would not bother us would send us into a brick wall.
Right.
Depends on when it hits.
Exactly.
Emotions are a very funny thing, and like I said, you might see a person at a funeral and that person never shed a tear for that loved one. But when they're by themselves, they'll bawl.
Right. When I was talking about men not taking certain stuff serious, but women going all out for it, as much as, yes, I get that women are emotional and all that, but sometimes women can be a little too emotional. Sometimes it's not even a big deal, Asylum. And women, and like I'm a woman, so yeah, and we getting on for nothing, making a big case out of something that's so petty. You understand? Sometimes women, they really overdo it in relationships. I mean, especially if the guy is working in, he needs a little time off just to probably watch the game, catch up with the boys, and and chill, and
something to just reset him.
Yeah, men need that, and women, you need to understand that men need that. Men need that.
I think women need too. I think women. I think women do need that at times too.
Yeah, but of course, that's why they have the girl nights out. The girls' night out. That's why they're always on the phone with their bestie talking. You get me?
No, that's a little too much. but again, it goes to show that we all need that personal space, no matter how small it is. Right? It will vary from people to people, from couple to couple. You need that personal space where you can just be you, unwind, just let loose. And some people are able to do it within the confines of their marriage and their relationship. Some people can't do it within that. They have to step outside and maybe hang with the boys or go to a movie by themselves, or go on the beach and chill by themselves. Something, where some people can actually find the time at home and do it. Right? So it all depends. But look, we ran out of time there again.
Already?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, where did that hour pass?
It's about
2 minutes too? A minute too?
About a minute or so too.
So, it is my birthday month.
Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday is coming up. I'm getting old, yo.
So make sure you have cake ready for us.
Make sure I get cake at the studio.
So for your birthday, can I make a request?
All I'm giving is ice.
Just ice?
What request do you want to make, Asylum?
Cake. I want cheesecake.
I might probably bake cheesecake. I might probably make a little chocolate swirl cheesecake. It's been a while.
No chocolate.
Just plain cheesecake.
Yeah.
I'll probably make a cheesecake. Yeah, so.
A cherry.
Strawberries.
Cherries.
Strawberries.
Half cherry, half strawberry.
Okay, I can do that.
And I'm not sharing my half with no one. You have to share.
I'm gonna make a big one. I'll make a really big one.
You have to cut your half and share it with all the stuff. I'm taking my half at home. All right, so we gotta go.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit more.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Where am I? Where's my technician? Technician, where were you? Are we there? Yeah. Huh?
Bye.
Have yourselves a wonderful one, folks, and just remember the kids are gonna come home tired today.
Yes.
They are gonna be tired because just remember they've been home for the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Last 2 months, sorry.
Yeah.
And just take it easy. Drivers, remember the kids are out there. Keep your eyes open. Some of them don't think.
Right.
Things through. So you gotta be ahead of the game. The folks at home, wish you guys a wonderful day. Catch us tomorrow. Today was a little quiet. I realize you're tired, so I
am kind of. And I just want to say, pray for the guys in the Bahamas, from Florida, the surrounding countries. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.